Sure.
Can you see me now?
Yeah.
Are you recording?
Yeah.
Until you find your way back home.
What is going on, you guys? We just got back from the gym and I really wanted to get into the If It Fits Your Macro portion of the video. So what is If It Fits Your Macros? If It Fits Your Macros is not a diet, it's a dietary guideline for you to use to create a caloric deficit that's going to incorporate all three macronutrients, which are your proteins, your fats, and your carb sources. What If It Fits Your Macros is not, is it's not a gateway for you to say, well, I can fit donuts into my macronutrients, so I'm gonna go ahead and consume donuts because I can fit them in. With If It Fits Your Macros, you still have to incorporate the 90-10 rule because you're trying to create a caloric deficit and lose weight and promote weight loss. The 90-10 rule is 90% of your calories are coming from nutritious, wholesome foods, 10% is coming from junk, which means that you can probably incorporate 1 to 2 snacks that aren't nutritious into your macronutrients throughout the week. Okay, so how do we create a caloric deficit using If It Fits Your Macros? I'm gonna show you a method that is 90 to 95% accurate according to the researcher who created this method. It's the one that I use for myself. I've used it since I started this transformation. I preach by it, I go by it. I really think that it works. It doesn't matter if you're male or female. This method will work for you if you're trying to do weight loss through a balanced lifestyle incorporating all three of the macronutrients. All right, so the very first thing that we want to find is our TDEE. What is TDEE? TDEE is your total daily energy expenditure, okay? This is the total amount of calories that you're consuming throughout the day to fuel your body, okay? So you have a maintenance level. This maintenance level is going to keep you at the weight that you are right now. Okay, if you eat above that, you're going to gain weight. If you eat below that, you're going to lose weight. How do we find our maintenance level? We're going to use me as an example for my macronutrients, and we're going to use our weight to find our maintenance level. I weigh 115 pounds. Now, to find my maintenance level, I'm going to do my weight times 0.14 to 0.16, okay? So 115 times 0.14 is going to give me 1,610 calories. 115 times 0.15 is gonna give me 1,725 calories. And 115 times 0.16 is gonna give me 1,840 calories. Now, what is the point of multiplying it times these three numbers here? It's gonna give you a range, okay? This range is so important, and it's even more important for you to be as realistic with yourself as you possibly can. This range right here is going from sedentary to extremely active, okay? So if you are an individual who is not really going to the gym every single day of the week, or you're not even going 2 days out of the week, you have an office job, you're not doing a whole lot with your day, you're going to be in the lower range here. If you're an individual who is going to the gym 4 to 5 days out of the week, you're training super hard, you're doing cardio, you're lifting heavy, you're gonna be in the active side of the range. And this is the middle range, okay? Where you have a decent job where it keeps you mobile, you're going to the gym for a decent amount of time, you're incorporating a little bit of cardio. This is where you're gonna be. So you have to decide for yourself where you're gonna place yourself on this chart. This method is already made for individuals who are living an active lifestyle, meaning you're not staying in bed all day. You're doing some sort of mobility throughout the day. So if that is you, you're gonna place yourself on one of these ranges. Let's say that you choose to put yourself in the middle range, which is about 1,700 calories, okay? So 1,700 calories. Now, this is gonna be your maintenance number. This is the range that you chose depending on your lifestyle and your active level. You're at 1,700 calories. How do you create a deficit from there? You're gonna subtract 200 to 500 calories from that number that you chose, okay? So let's say that you wanna do something that's not as vigorous. You don't wanna take away too many calories all at once. You wanna start off slow. No problem. You're gonna subtract about 200 calories from that number that you chose out of that range for your TDEE. If you want to choose something that's a little bit more vigorous, you want to lose weight a little bit faster, you're going to go towards the 500 calorie drop range. So that means that you're going to put yourself in a 500 caloric deficit. Now, I'm going to pick somewhere in the middle, and I'm going to go ahead and subtract 300 calories, which is going to put me at a 1,400 calorie total daily expenditure for me to be in a caloric deficit, okay? So I subtracted a middle range of 300 calories from my maintenance that I got from this number, and that gives me 1,400 calories, okay? So now we have our caloric deficit, okay? I need to eat 1,400 calories a day to put myself in a caloric deficit for weight loss. Now, with these calories, I need a certain amount of protein, I need a certain amount of fat, and I need a certain amount of carbs. Why? Because all three of these macronutrients are extremely essential for your body. Okay, you need all of them. Fats are important, protein's important, carbs are a source of energy. It's gonna fuel you for your workouts. How do you find your protein intake? Okay, so for protein intake, we're gonna do our body weight again, times 0.8 to 1.2. Here's this range again. Same thing with finding your TDEE. This range, if you are someone who, like me, started off in the obesity stage, you have more than 30% fat on you, you have a ton of weight to lose, you wanna be in the 0.8 range, okay? If you're someone who is pretty lean already, you're getting ready to do a bodybuilding competition, you don't have a lot of fat on you, your body percentage is super low, you're gonna be in the 1.2 range. For example, when I was weighing 170 pounds, I didn't need 170 grams of protein in my diet for me to lose weight at that time. So I'm gonna go ahead and, just for the simplicity of the video, say that I'm gonna be in the middle again, and that's gonna put me at 1 gram of protein per pound, okay? So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna multiply 115 times 1, which is gonna give me 115 grams of protein. That's how much protein I'm gonna be eating out of these calories, okay? How do we find our fats? It's gonna be a similar method, okay? So we're gonna do our body weight, which is 115 pounds times 0.3 to 0.4, okay? Here's another range, same thing. 115 times 0.3 is gonna give me 34.5 grams. 115 times 0.4 is gonna give me 46 grams, okay? Okay, now, if you are someone who likes high-fat foods, like you like eggs, you like peanut butter, you like nuts, things of that sort, you wanna put yourself in this range right here. If you are someone who isn't much of a fan of fatty foods, you enjoy carbs a little bit more, you're gonna put yourself in this range here. Reason being is because whatever you don't take out of your proteins and your fats, you're gonna get out of your carbs. So for me, I enjoy carbohydrates. I like carbohydrates in my diet more than I do fat. because they give me the amount of energy that I like. I like the way that I feel. Therefore, I'm gonna give myself 34 grams of fat, okay? So I'm gonna be in the low range for fat, which is 34 grams. Now, how do we find our carbs? This is the last macronutrient that we're gonna have to find. Something that you guys should know is protein is 4 calories per gram. Fats are 9 calories per gram. Carbs are 4 calories per gram. And I'm not gonna obviously utilize alcohol, but so that you know, alcohol is 7 calories per gram, okay? That means that for every gram of protein, you're getting 4 calories. For every gram of fat, you're getting 9 calories. For every gram of carbs, you're getting 4 calories. So, how are we gonna find our carbohydrates? Well, what we're gonna do is we're gonna take this number for protein and for fats, and we're gonna multiply it by this number here, okay? So, let's get our calculator out because math is rude. 115 times 4 is 460. So this is how many calories we are getting out of our total daily calorie deficit for protein. Now we're going to do 34 times 9 because remember it's 9 calories per gram. And that puts us at 306 calories that we are getting and utilizing out of those 1400. So now we're going to add these two numbers, 460 and 306, and that's going to give us 766 calories. Now we're going to subtract this number from these calories to see how much we have left to put towards our carbohydrates. So we're going to do 1400 minus 766 calories. That's going to give us 634 calories that we have left to use, okay? How do we find our carbs from this number? We're going to divide 634 times 4 because remember for carbohydrates, it's 4 calories per gram. So 634 divided by 4, that's 158.5, okay? So now we have our macros and our calories. So this is my total caloric deficit, 1400 calories. I'm getting 115 grams of protein, 34 grams of fat, 158.5 grams of carbs. Now, what do you do from this point? So you need to find a way to be able to track your progress with whatever macronutrients and caloric deficit you find for yourself, okay? In order to do that, what I recommend is using a scale. I know scale isn't the best way to track your progress overall as a whole. However, when it comes to this and finding the right calories, I truly think that it's beneficial and super helpful. Try your macronutrients out for a week and a half. Weigh yourself every single day. If you find at the end of that week and a half that you're gaining weight, you more than likely are going to have to take away and suffer on some of your carbs, okay? You don't want to touch your protein source and you don't want to touch your fat source. You want to play with your carbs. That's the first source that you want to go to for your macronutrients when you're going to lower your caloric deficit. So if you find that you're gaining weight, you're going to drop 15 to 20 grams of carbs. Try that out for a week and a half, okay? And if you're still not losing weight, then you're going to go a little bit more vigorous and you're going to drop 25 to 40 grams, depending on where your comfort level is with carbs and your energy level. I don't recommend going anywhere below that. I think if you're going below 1200 calories, it's just too far of a deficit for a female, especially for a male. But this right here should work. If you have any questions so far, please comment them below. I'll answer. Now, the last thing that I want to talk about is how are you going to make this work for you as far as tracking? So download MyFitnessPal. This app is super helpful in tracking your macros. You can scan barcodes, you can enter in and weigh in your food if you wanted to go that far. It's gonna help you track all of those macronutrients. Some sort of app like MyFitnessPal is super beneficial. It's gonna make it so much easier for you to track your calories. Now, what else is gonna help you with your macronutrients? Water. Drink a ton of water. I recommend a gallon of water a day. Water is gonna keep you full, it's gonna keep you hydrated. It's good for you as it is. Drink a gallon of water if possible. Another thing is sleep. It's really tough to be on a caloric deficit and feel fatigued and tired from lack of sleep. So try to get as much sleep as possible when you're on your weight loss journey. And lastly, exercise. Exercise is gonna give you endorphins. It's gonna make you feel good. It's gonna motivate you just because you're out there, you're catching a sweat, whatever it might be. These 4 things will help you throughout your journey, you guys. And lastly, remember that balance is key, moderation is key, and patience. You can't rush a weight loss journey. It's gonna take time. You're gonna have to play with your macronutrients. It can get extremely stressful, but it's gonna be completely worth it once you get the hang of it. Eventually, you'll get to the point where you know how much you're supposed to eat to maintain your body weight. You'll get to the point where you know how much you have to eat to lose weight. You'll even get to the point where if eventually you get to a bulking phase for guys, you'll know how much you have to eat to gain weight. So the more that you practice these methods, the better that you're gonna get at them. Yeah, if you have any questions, please comment them below. I'd be happy to answer them. Thank you for watching.
I know, it was funny. The guy in that video that you saw,
Yeah.
Seth, we hired him a week ago. He got like, when he was doing it, he's like, I don't know. I was like, hey man, stay in the healthy range. So well within healthy ranges. Body fat percentage is good there, into the 20s, A to G ratio there. I wouldn't assume you to store much visceral fat at all. So that's great. We like to see that.
And then
Yeah, so our average scan for females is somewhere between about 30 and 35%.
Okay.
With the optimal range, according to the World Health Organization, they put out 20 to 25 for optimal. We do find that it is a very individualistic kind of goal thing, but I always recommend like take the next set of 5 and make that the goal, you know? So like 25 would be the next goal.
So 2 months ago, June 30th, I took a DEXA scan, which is basically a component model that reads your bone, your fat, and your lean tissue, and it lets you know how much body fat percentage you're holding, your total mass, which at the time for me was 122.9 pounds. It lets you know how much fat mass you have, and it lets you know how much lean mass you have. Now, I'm gonna be returning to retake this screening and hope that I've made an improvement within these past 2 months. I feel that I have, however, we'll see. When I take that screening, I'm gonna go way more into detail and in depth with all of these results because there is so much available here. It goes into even show you like where you're holding the majority of your body fat, even though body fat, of course, we know can't be targeted. You have to just lose overall body fat. But I'm gonna go into detail when I retake this screening, and I'm gonna share those results with you guys, and let's hope that I've improved. So yeah, if you're interested and you're in the San Diego area, there is plenty of DEXA Scan screening places that are available for you to take this if you're curious to know where you stand. Obviously, it's really tough to get a complete 100% accurate reading on your body fat percentage, but this is pretty clear cut, and it's as close as I feel that I'm gonna get besides just looking at myself in the mirror and making a guesstimation. So that's gonna conclude the video. See you guys next time.
Until you find your way back home.